Hey guys, Roxy Sims here, and I have another speed build for you today. Today I am building the Willow Creek Hospital. I recently saw a post in a Sims Facebook group, and a lot of people didn't even know that this hospital even existed. So please let me explain a little bit. So this hospital came with Get to Work, and you can access it if you actually have the doctor career and you join them to go to work. So this is not a normal part of Willow Creek that you can access at any point. That's the only way that you can get to it. And that's the same with a couple other careers as well. This is going to be for my save file, of course. I'm going to rebuild all these kind of career lots for my save file. It's going to be a whole lot of work. But, you know, I mean, this hospital, I have been working on it for like a couple of months. And no, I haven't been working the entire couple of months, but I would work on it a little bit and then kind of take a step back, take a little break, and then go back to it. And then I actually think that really helps because I think when I try to finish a big build too quickly, then I kind of miss out on cool ideas, whereas if I take a break, then I come back to it and I have a kind of a fresh, way of thinking about it, and I think of new things. So I really like doing it that way whenever I can. And since I have been working on this for so long, that's made me just even more excited to be able to finally share it with you guys. So yay, I'm really, really happy about this. So not only is this lot a little bit kind of secretive unless you've actually used the doctor career and joined them, it's also a lot that you normally can't build on unless you use a cheat for it. So you have to use the free build cheat whenever you want to build on it, or let's say you would like to replace the lot that came in your game with this one, you will have to use the free build cheat in order for you to be able to do that. Speaking of cheats, if you do download this, please make sure to have the move objects cheat on before you place it. Otherwise, lots of things will go missing. It'll not be good. And also, if you do want to download it, of course, as always, I will upload it to the gallery. My gallery ID is Roxy Sims with no space. And I'm doing a new thing where I created a Patreon page for myself, and I'm uploading all my tray files onto there. So no matter which way that you prefer to download your builds, both will be available. I also wanted to mention that if you do download this build off of the gallery, it will actually be turned around. It'll be facing the opposite direction because for some weird reason, the back of the building is being shown in the screenshot when you upload it. Because, it seems like that would be the back of the building, right? Because I feel like the front of the building would be the one facing out to the road. So that seems more likely to be the front of the building instead of the opposite. So I don't really know why they did that. But, it would be, nobody spends all this time making a building they really like and then wants to show off the back of the building. So I will be turning around, uploading it, so whenever, you look for it on the gallery, you actually see the front of the building. And then whenever you place it, again, put the move objects cheat on and then also have it on, and then you can turn it around so that it's facing the right way, or at least the way that I think it should be. But if you download the tray file, it will already be facing the quote-unquote correct way, so you don't have to change anything if you do it that way. But I definitely think it should be turned around if you download it from the gallery. When I started actually building this, I decided very early on that I wasn't going to make it completely white, because I know a lot of hospitals are very, very white, but I feel like those are kind of older hospitals, and I wanted this to be a bit more recently built. Like maybe some of it is a little bit older, maybe a little bit not run down, but just used often. Like the floors are they're like a linoleum kind of scratched up or whatever. So I wanted some of it to have a little bit of age, but I didn't want it to be too old. Oh look, I love this. I made a little food cart so doctors can bring everybody food. And then I love how this nurse station turned out. But anyways, back to the color scheme. I just knew that I wanted it to have a bit of color to it. And the hospitals that I have gone to are a bit newer, and they always have, I feel like they add a little bit more color because they didn't want it to look so sterile. So I added blues and teals and tans and, some brown tones and things like that. So I really like the color scheme of the whole place. I did test this place out, and I actually tried out the doctor career with this hospital just to make sure that everything was completely functional. I didn't want you to download this and have to change a bunch of stuff to make it actually usable. So I did my very best to make sure everything really worked. And because of that, I put everything that was important, stuff that you needed to use very often, I put that all on the first floor. So this is like 5 stories. So you have a basement level and then 4 above. And everything that you actually need is on the first story. Because you don't need to be, using this career and then having to climb a bunch of stairs to get to patients or whatever. So I just put everything down here. And then everything... So let me tell you my original plan. Originally, I wanted every single floor to be jam-packed full of stuff. I wanted there to be pretty much anything that you would have in a real hospital, I wanted to be in this hospital. But I quickly had to change that plan because I started filling up the 3rd and 4th floor, and then I would test it in between. I would build some, test it, build some, test it. And then whenever I was testing it in between, I realized there's no way that this lot would work, at least on my type of computer, if I filled up every single story. And now I don't know if that's just because my computer isn't like top of the line, best computer ever, or if that's just the state of The Sims 4 right now. It could be either. It could be both, a little of both. I don't know, but I just knew it wasn't going to work. It was way, way too laggy. And I have heard that these careers, when you go to these lots, are laggy already. So if you add a bunch of stuff, then it's just not going to work. So I got a bunch of the 3rd and 4th floor finished before I realized I was going to have to take it all out. It was a little devastating. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty sad about it. But, first and foremost, because this is from my save file, I wanted it to be completely functional. So I didn't like it, but I knew I had to do it. So please send your prayers and your thoughts this way, because I'm I'm grappling with like a huge loss right now. Oh, guys, okay. This part is totally not functional, but I couldn't give it up. I made a morgue. I just had to. I didn't even think about it for the longest time, but I think it was like in between one of the times that I was taking a break from building, and I'm like, oh, a morgue! I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I thought it was just kind of necessary. And so I used the sized up filing cabinets to look like, you know. If you don't like it, you can totally take it out. You can literally just delete that entire floor, because that's the only thing on the basement, in the basement level. So if you don't like it, you're not going to use it. It's just for looks anyways. So, and that brings me to the thought that you can, like I was saying earlier, everything that's functional and that's necessary is on the first floor. So let's say you download this lot and you just only care about it being functional. You want it to be that's like really the only reason you're downloading it. And let's say it's a bit laggy because there's a lot of stuff on this lot. You could totally just get rid of the 2nd floor. It's not the best solution, but the Sim Gurus did let us know that they're looking into the lag that is happening. And one of kind of the quick fixes in the meantime is to delete things that are in your Sims inventory. And then the other is to delete a few of the items that you have in the build. So if that's absolutely necessary, if you really just prefer the function of it, you don't really need anything up here. It's not necessary. And earlier I was building a gift shop, and that's not necessary either. It's not like anyone's going to come and buy anything from the gift shop. So those are things that you could totally get rid of if you want a bit more functionality out of it. That room I was just working on is kind of like a fancy room. So that's like a suite, you know, if you have a lot of money, that's where you can stay. This room is kind of like I don't know, the executives or whatever that work at this hospital. I have like some money bags laying around. That's my not so subtle way to tell you what I feel about the American healthcare system. And then I have the nurses station in this area outside is a bit more fancy as well. What else do I have in here? I also have kind of like a chapel, because I know a lot of hospitals have those. It's a very like non-religion specific kind of chapel, because I think that's the way that most hospitals are leaning now, is they're not making it so Christian, you know, so that everyone of any religion can use it. So that's what I was going for with that chapel. I also have kind of like a rehabilitation center. I'm sure you saw the cafeteria. I have a break room for the employees with kind of like a locker room area and a room with a bunch of bunk beds. So that's like the on-call room. Basically, all the ideas I got from the show Scrubs. Not gonna lie, that was like, I didn't design it like that, but I took any idea for any rooms and stuff that I would put in the hospital from that show. I absolutely love that show, by the way. Eagle! Now, you won't get that at all if you don't watch that show, but if you watch it, you will know exactly what that's about. I love it. Well, guys, we are pretty much done with this video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Don't forget to check out my new Patreon page, especially if you want to download my tray files. Definitely leave any comments about future builds that you would like to see from me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.